got there? What is this?
Seventh Son Tour.
Oh, that's the one you caught. Oh, yeah. It's so gross.
What's the story with this thing? Did you wear that wristband?
I caught Nico's soaking, sweaty wristband. We got in line at 6 a.m. Actually, we were there early. We couldn't get up there till 6.
So you saw Iron Maiden on this fucking tour.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the first time you saw Iron Maiden?
No.
His old man was a big Maiden fan.
Yeah.
Your dad was an Iron Maiden fan.
Somewhere in Time was the first, unfortunately, the first time I got to see him live.
Yeah.
I saw that tour my dad would pull me out of school and we'd drive to Ohio to go see Maiden.
It's like,
but this was funny.
You got to sit through the long distance runner and
we were actually 7th row in the Seventh Son Tour. But, at the end, Nico threw his wristbands, and I jumped up and grabbed it out of midair, and then was, so fucking happy, and then realized, this thing is soaked with sweat. I mean, you can just, touch it. It's just dripping with sweat.
Yeah, it ain't you want to put it in your pocket either, because it's
I have
now I smell like Nico McBrain.
Yeah, I'm like, what do I do with this? But it's awesome, so, yeah, I just stuck it in my pocket.
That's fucking Bruce last year, man, when they wrapped up, I think it was the tour in Chicago or St. Louis is about a bazillion degrees. I think it was St. Louis. And he took his shirt off and fucking wrung it out and then starts flinging it around like he was going to... Oh, that's right, because that was where we were in the pit. He was going to throw it. And I'm trying to not make eye contact. Don't throw it towards me. Don't throw it towards
Everyone's in the pit. Yeah. They're all like, we love you, Bruce, but hold on.
Yeah, I don't need your sweaty shirt, dude.
So, guys...
That you just wrung out.
So, okay, let's cut to the chase on this album. Because I remember when this album came out, and I remember it was very, very controversial. Because it had keyboards in it. So, what do you guys think about that?
Guitar synth.
Yeah, that's what it was. Do you think it added? Did it not add it? Was it needed? Not needed?
I understand where the purists came from, but at the same time, I think they did it really well.
Yeah.
I mean...
Right, it didn't sound like the 70s to 80s kind of morphing into like Dio, where it was front and center.
Judas Priest Turbo. I mean, that's kind of where where that started ish for Maiden, and yeah, Turbo was a little over the top.
Oh hell yeah! Well, the thing about this is, what I like about this album a lot is Iron Maiden has always been, for lack of a better word, progressive. Almost like a lot of time changes, a lot of parts, long songs, a lot of different things. And this is, in my opinion, this album is the epitome of it. In fact, the song the song Seventh Son of the Seventh Son, that's there's actually a song from Yes, that's on the album Relay, or I don't even know what it is, but I remember hearing Seventh Son, I'm like, this is just like that song from Yes. I'll have to play it for you, but it's it's the same thing. It's the same setup, the same parts.
Well, it's also the first Maiden album that actually had an overarching storyline. It got into that prog rock-ish territory without sounding like Emerson, Lake and Palmer or something, But it has an overarching story and I thought the keyboards were cool. Going back to that, where on Seventh Son, you hit the nail on the head because it felt gothic. It felt like this kind of grand, dark gothic church where the keyboards were coming in with the heavy guitars and that was one of the long tracks too. It's 7 or 8 minutes.
No, it completely works because when Judas Priest added keyboards to Turbo, it just made a metal band sound weak. But this added, you're exactly right, because I never thought about Iron Maiden being gothic, but yeah, I guess so, right?
Especially on that particular track, I mean, with that really grand opening, that chorus coming in and that snare,
I remember Can I Play With Madness was the hit. The hit.
Yeah. Although, there's one cool thing, and a lot of people don't remember this. That video was the last appearance by Graham Chapman from Monty Python. That was the last thing that he did before he died. He was the professor in the Can I Play With Madness video.
Shit. I think what's interesting about Iron Maiden is when I got into metal in the early 80s, I was into Priest. It was Priest and Maiden, except Grim Reaper. I'm really picking... and then thrash. Then I discovered thrash. Slayer, Metallica, Anthrax, Exodus, all that shit. And all that shit was way more fucking powerful and heavier and faster than Maiden and Priest. And here's the thing about Iron Maiden. I'm looking back at it. They were never a heavy, angry band. I've always, looking back at them, they're more technical, fast, involved. I mean, shit, I learned how to play guitar with Maiden, but they're not I think like when they made this album with the synthesizers, it didn't take away from any potential heaviness because they were never really that heavy to begin with. What do you think? What do you think?
Well, I mean, if you go back to the first two records, they were kind of that raw punk,
almost
garage rock kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've always just considered them rock and roll. I mean, they're heavy, but not like you're saying, not Metallica heavy.
Heavy.
It's just the heavier end of rock and roll.
Heavy rock and roll.
Yeah, I mean,
I can see Iron Maiden playing in a country bar like, you guys ready to rock and roll out there?
Here's our 9 minutes.
It's back to those first two records. I mean, there's a lot of those songs on there that are, like I said, they're rock songs. Or like a song, like Running Free.
Yeah.
Running Free is just a power rock anthem song,
Well, hell, a lot of the songs off like Number of the Beast, any of those songs, they're 3.5 minutes. They fit right in nice and neat to like radio timestamps.
Where do you think? Did you ultimately looking at Iron Maiden's career, or at least up until this point? Do you like the direction that they went into, or do you prefer the early Iron Maiden? Not necessarily about Paul being the singer, but just those types of songs.
I love those. When I was a teenager, I wasn't into those records as much because of the Paul thing. It was like Bruce isn't on those records. But now that I go back, I'm like, they're great records.
Yeah.
But Seventh Son is the last Maiden record, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, you know what? Well, you know what's funny? I'll be honest with you guys. It's the last Iron Maiden album I bought.
Yeah, I picked up Book of Souls. There's some good songwriting on it. I don't love all of the songs on it, but I think there's some pretty solid songwriting on it. I didn't think the album was a great recording, but you also have to think that like Bruce was like a year out from like having surgery from throat cancer. I mean, and putting out an album. But when I saw him perform those live last year, like it was better seeing it live than it was on the recording. Well, everything's always better live, but like his voice was better live because he had more time to stretch his vocal cords out or whatever he needed to do after the surgeries. Having said that, it's not an amazing album front to back. Like I think Seventh Son is solid front to back, even if you include "Can I Play with Madness" in there. Like it's a great song.
I do like that song because to me it's like that's the next Wasted Years.
Right, exactly. It was the radio play.
But I will be honest, this was the last Iron Maiden that I bought. And the reason why is because after around that time is when I started to really, really get into punk rock. Like I was really getting into like the Ramones, Black Flag, Dead Kennedys. I was into songs that are 50 seconds long, not 8 minutes long.
Right.
And then that was kind of it, But that is the last Iron Maiden album that I got and was into.
And there's no Yannick on it.
Hey gang, this is Ray, and I just want to say thank you very much for checking out my video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more videos, please click on the subscribe button. And if you like what you see, please give it a like. That would mean a lot to me. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing Hawaiian shirts, well, when I'm not talking about records, I'm talking about my other love, Tiki. I have a show called Tiki with Ray. If you want to check that show out, just search Tiki with Ray on YouTube. It'll come up.